Have you ever just been chilling with all of your homeboys and they're all talking about how much they love gooning and how often they do it, and then you realize that you don't know how to goon? Well, don't worry. So have I. And if you've clicked on this video, why not subscribe? I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to my guide to gooning for beginners. Yes, I've Welcome to my guide for gooning for beginners. I've finally hit the bat signal, the calling of this universe to me to teach those who need to be taught how to goon. Now this is going to be the comprehensive guide for beginners. If you're already an intermediate or expert at gooning, you can still watch. Maybe you'll learn something, but this is mainly targeted to those just starting out. So let's get into it with step 1. Step 1 is, of course, prepping the zone. You need to make sure that the location you're gooning at is suitable for the gooning you're about to do. You can't just be walking into a random room populated with human beings and just start stroking your shit. Preferably, you want to make it to an area where it's quiet so you can focus, and that there's no chance of somebody walking in that you don't want to. Meaning, do not do this when you're at a family gathering for Christmas or Easter. That will not end well for you whatsoever. But once you've found your suitable location, you want to find a spot where you can sit and or stand, depending on your technique, and you want to prep for step 2. Step 2 is finding your stimuli. You need to make sure that you're not just stroking it to your own imagination. Though, once you get to the expert levels, this will be incredibly easy. Starting out as a beginner, you definitely want to get on some sort of image. Relying on just your imagination when you're starting out isn't going to go too great. So, get on a website, just scroll on some photos, search up your favorite character. Just do whatever needs to be done to get something there and get your wiener going crazy. It is very important that you find suitable stimuli for yourself. If you're into feet, go crazy king. And if you like golf baddies, well, you can find plenty of that. But it's incredibly important that you find stimuli for yourself. And you don't have to worry about conforming to other people's. It's not as if you're going to be sharing all of this. Unless you are, then do whatever you'd like. But now that you've found your stimuli, let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is what I would consider the most important step. This is where beginners usually get it wrong because it's quite complicated. Lather and stroke. Now, you're probably a little confused if you're an absolute beginner. What do you mean, lather? Well, let me explain it to you. For those of you who have been blessed from birth to still possess your foreskin, you can kind of ignore the lather section of this step. However, for those of you with strange butchered penises, you are definitely going to have to get some sort of lotion to assist in the stroke game, whether it be moisturizer or your mum's favorite soap. Just grab whatever you need and make sure you get that thing on good. Now your stroking is just equally as important. If you're not doing the right technique with your stroke, it's not going to end well. I don't want to see any two-handers. You don't have that much meat. Alright, calm down. But speaking of hands, choosing whether or not you'll be a right or left stroker will change your life forever. You will get bullied if it comes up in conversation if you happen to stroke with a weird hand. But don't worry about it too much. It's not that important. It's just about how well you can get the stroke done. But now that you're lathered up and you're stroking, we'll move on to the final step, step 4. The cleanup crew. And I know you're thinking, crew? Poopy Isaac, I thought you told me to do this when no one else is. Yes. However, If this is your first time and you bust a load too big to contain and it's on the roof, you're going to need to get some trusted people in there to help you out. Though for most of you, I can assure you that crew is a little unnecessary of a word and you should be able to do it solo. But you need to make sure you're disposing of the seed the best you can and in the cleanest and most efficient way possible. Preferably using any sort of disposable paper towel or tissue is the way to go, and just chuck that thing straight down the toilet. Just make sure that everything's clean and you wash your hands after. You don't want to be having some grubby cheese on your hands when you're going to have your dinner. And with that, you have now gone from a strokeless worm and grown into a beautiful, beautiful stroking butterfly who now knows how to properly goon. Use this guide at your own risk, as if you're too powerful and have good enough grip strength, you may tear your penis off your body, and there's no putting that thing back on. But that is all for this guide to gooning. This has been Poopy Isaac. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And if you've made it this far, why not subscribe?